Hari Om and welcome to all the divine Atmajyotis to today's Bhagavad Gita Satsang. Today we will continue our contemplation of 17.23. 17th chapter is Shraddha, Traya, Vibhaga, Yoga. Three kinds of faith. The divisions of the faith. There are three kinds of faith. Tamasic, Rajasic and Sattvic faith. Here Sri Krishna is helping us to differentiate them. And as part of that, this very important shloka is there, 17.23, about which in the past two sessions, we've learned parts of it. So today, we will continue the contemplation. Before that, first let us learn how to chant it again and the meaning, and then we will have a short recap and go into today's contemplation. I request now Rohan to chant the shloka. When Rohan is chanting, let all of us sit straight with our hands folded in Namaste and eyes closed and chant along with Rohan.
Om Tat Sat nirdeśho brahmaṇas tri-vidhaḥ smṛitaḥ brahmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā.
Thank you very much, Rohan. Now I request Vivan to read out the meaning.
The words Om Tat Sat have been declared as a symbolic representations of the supreme absolute truth from the beginning of creation. From them came the brahmaṇas, knower or seeker of truth. Vedas, knowledge or scriptures with the highest knowledge. And yajñāḥ, sacrifice or offering or eternal dharma.
Thank you very much, Vivan. So, we have seen in our last two sessions how this particular shloka is a very important shloka to understand the entirety, or what we call as the totality. When we understand any subject, as an example, let's say you are learning about how to cook. If you truly want to learn how to cook, is it enough if you just know how to make chapati or chitrana or any one dish? No, right? You have to know many dishes. But you also know that there are millions of dishes. So it may be impossible to know all the million dishes. However, is there a sense of completeness or a sense of complete understanding of the cooking that you can bring? We have seen in several of our past sessions that how, when we learn the essence, in a way, we learn the whole. Just to apply it to this example of the cooking, if we learn that there are 6 kinds of taste that make up any food, and the order in which these 6 kinds of tastes are mixed and served makes a dish a unique dish. So in a way, when I realize the 6 different tastes and what makes that each of the taste and in what proportion it has to be there in a given dish, then the dish becomes exciting. And in a way, I now know all the million dishes. Though I may not know the specific dish name, now I am confident that I can now make any of the million dishes once when I get to know what it is. So I have now become aware of the totality, is how I can say now with respect to cooking, isn't it? Like that, here Sri Krishna is helping you and me to recognize the totality. Totality means what? Not just about you and me, all these plants, animals, all these things that exist of different kinds of things, not just on the earth, but the entire cosmos. How to understand how to have an essential understanding of the entire cosmos is the knowledge that Sri Krishna is giving. So therefore, this particular shloka is a representation of the entirety, entire cosmos, the totality. So far, what is that we have learned about this particular shloka? So far, we have seen that Om Tat Sat, that Om Tat Sat is a mantra. Mantra means what? It's a map. So first thing is we have understood what is the purpose of a map. A map shows us to the path to the destination, allows us to know what is in between before we reach our destination, also helps us to know where we are in the journey. So likewise, we looked into what are the different aspects of Om. In the Om Tat Sat mantra, there is Om, there is Tat, there is Sat. Three important sounds are there. Om Tat Sat. We looked into what Om itself is. And we have seen that Om itself represents distinct elements of Om. There are three heard sounds, the sounds that we can hear, and there is one very important sound that we cannot hear in the Om. And the three sounds that we can hear are A, U, and M. And A represents the waking state, U represents the dreaming state, M represents the deep sleep state. In a way, imagine you see a chocolate. You feel like, I have to have the chocolate. And the moment you think of, I have to have the chocolate, you start feeling, ooh, it'll be so nice. So you get some sense of excitement. And let's say your mummy or daddy, whoever is with you, actually gets that chocolate for you. And you open the wrapper and you eat. Nice, isn't it? So like that, it's like is there in every activity. So like that, are the three sounds that we hear in Om. And we also saw that there is one unhearable, cannot be heard sound. And that is in a way wrapped or concealed by what we recognize as Maya. So there is something that cannot be heard and that is concealed by the Maya or the illusion. And that is represented also in the Om. And the absolute, which itself is now manifesting as these three sounds, is also there in the Om. So like that, Om in a way is a representation of all the changing and also the unchanging. This we saw. Then we wanted to understand about Tat. So we looked at the example of which thing is bigger here. And we all saw that what usually catches our eye is the things that we see. But actually much bigger than that is, there is a space in which both this earth and satellite exist. So in our last session, we looked into, in this picture, space is much bigger. Why? Because space is the one which contains the earth and the satellite. Like that, the divine is referred as the Tat. It is in that divine that this entire cosmos, all these visible things exist. So that is how we understood also which feeling is better or bigger for you and me to live with. A feeling of I'm just a Kannadiga, or I'm an Indian, or I'm a world citizen. Through that example also we saw that when I live with the feeling of I'm a world citizen, it is like Tat, divine feeling. Why? Because then there are no more me and mine, only this is me, this is not me. Just like how when you feel I'm an Indian, you feel the whole of India is yours. You will protect the whole of India. Likewise, when I'm a world citizen, I'm caring and living for the whole world. So this is the Tat, the feeling of the Tat, divine. Then for the Sat, we looked into example of which is permanent. And we looked at several examples. Is anger permanent or peace? Is sound permanent or silence? Is something permanent or nothing? Similarly, we looked into is body permanent or awareness? And we all saw that the right-hand side of the examples that you're seeing here represents the permanent aspect in our lives. So that is Sat. So like that, there is this divine awareness that is always there. And in the presence of the divine awareness, everything else comes and goes. This much is what we have seen so far about Om Tat Sat. So now, today, we will learn the other aspect that the shloka is pointing at. What the other aspect the shloka is pointing at? Shloka is saying, brahmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā. From them, from what? Om Tat Sat. Or in other words, the divine. From the divine came brahmaṇās, vedāśh and yajñāḥ. So today we will know about that. But before I go into contemplation of that, is there any
Guruji?
question based on what we have discussed so far?
Guruji,
Yes, Ji.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to apologize for coming late because
That's okay,
basically
Ananya Ji. That's okay, no problem. Yeah, let's continue the class.
my father's like.
So, any other question anybody has about what you have heard so far? About Om Tat Sat. Is there any question? All right, wonderful. If there are no more questions on the Om Tat Sat, today let us understand what Sri Krishna means by from them came brahmaṇāḥ, brahmaṇās, vedāśh, and the yajñā. Okay. But before that, I have a small game for all of you. And I want all of you to now get ready. So I will show you 4 clues, one after the other. Only if we crack the first clue, we'll go to the next clue. But what is this clue got to do? There's a story for that. So what happened is, there was one pirate, and that pirate was very notorious, and he used to steal things, and he was such a good pirate, good in the sense in stealing, that he had made a large treasure. But one day he came to know that he was about to get caught by the soldiers of the king. He came to know that in few days they're going to surround him and no way he can escape. So he thought, what do I do? If I get caught, my treasure also will be lost. So he decided, I have an idea. So he went and hid his treasure in one secret place. And then he thought, okay, if I get caught by the king, it will be many days before I can come back to this treasure. So what do I do? And this place where he had come, he himself had found it with lot of trouble. If I forget, because the king is definitely going to punish me for many days, and he's going to put me into the jail for many years. If I forget, what do I do? Then he had a brilliant idea. He said, I will make 4 clues and I will hide them in different places. One clue will lead to the next clue. Like that, he did the 3 clues. Then the 4th clue, he thought, if I hide it somewhere where I cannot go, then I might as well just lose the whole treasure. What do I do? Where should I hide the 4th clue? He thought about it. Then he had another brilliant idea. What he did was, he he went to a person who etches these various pictures and words on the body. Some of you might have seen people sometimes get these etchings, permanent etchings. So he went to a person who etches like that, and he got the first clue etched on his body. And also, he told him to use a special ink, and that ink made that particular clue appear only on a particular day, and that too when full moon is there. So, with all this, when he got caught by the king, he said, I don't know where the treasure is. I used to tell my people, they would hide it, and I have lost the track. The, the soldiers beat him, but still he did not open his mouth. He kept on repeating the same story. They searched all through his body. They did not find anything on his body, because now the itching, whatever the etching that had been done, that is concealed, because it is now special ink. No, only on a special day when the full moon is there would it be visible. So now they also thought, okay, he may have perhaps lost it. But because they all knew that he is the thief, they put him in the jail. Many, many years he is in the jail. And after many years, when this king and everybody else more or less forgets about this thief, now the new king has come, and he looks at the jail, and he decides, all these people who have become old, you release them. Anyway, now they are old. What will they do? So now they release this thief also, because he spent so many years. He has forgotten all about the treasure. For some reason, he is wondering, I something important was there, and I did something. I don't know where it is. He had a vague feeling, but he didn't know. And lo and behold, that magical day happened. That night, he was sleeping under the moon near his hut, and the moon was full moon, shining. And he thought, okay, now I'll go to sleep. Like that, he looked at his hand, and suddenly on his hand was the first clue, and it was shimmering, it was shining in the moon's light. And my dear children, the first clue that he got was this. So now, which place is this clue pointing at? He knew suddenly. So if he can crack this clue, he can go to the first place. Yes, Snigdha.
Gee, the first clue is the dry river crossing.
How?
Because it tells that that which flows, but it does not show. Meaning that this river it flows, but then it's dry, so it's like it does not show itself.
Okay, all right. I saw even Diya Disha raise their hand. Do you agree? Do you have a different answer, Diya Disha? Same answer? Okay. Does anyone else have any other answer for this? Are all of you agreeing that whatever the answer Snigdha gave, dry river crossing, is what this clue is about? Is that agreeable to everyone? Is there anyone who is disagreeing? Okay, looks like no one is disagreeing. Great. And congratulations, all of you. Yes, that is the correct clue. So he figures out, this is nothing but the dry river crossing. So he goes to the dry river crossing. There he finds one stone. Because it's anyway dry, he goes there, and as soon as he goes there, he kind of knows where that stone is. He goes to the stone, and there is his next clue. That which howls is not an animal. So now you need to crack the second clue. Which place is his? Yes, Akshat.
Ji, like a wind's hollow.
Wind's hollow. Okay, how do you say that?
Ji, like there, if the wind goes there and it makes sound.
Okay, that's what you're thinking. Wonderful. Snigdha, you had some answer?
Yeah, same answer.
Same answer. Okay. Is there anyone who has a different answer? Should he now go to Wind's Hollow? Is there anyone who feels, no, 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 that's an incorrect answer, that he needs to go to some other place? No? Are all of you agreeing? All right. Very nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes, that is indeed correct. So now he has to go to Wind's Hollow. So when he goes to Wind's Hollow is where he finds his third clue. Because in the Wind's Hollow, inside the cave, no, on the wall, it was written, where play was for fun. Where play was for fun. That's the clue he finds when he goes to the Wind's Hollow. Yes, Diya Disha.
Childhood hut.
Childhood hut. Okay. Rohan, what do you think?
Same answer, sir, childhood.
And Rohan, why do you think it is childhood hut?
Because in the childhood, I think many children played there.
Guruji,
Had
I
fun.
also think it is childhood hut
Okay, and why do you think so?
because like all the like maybe there was some playful stuff in it.
Okay, all right. Any other answer? Anybody? Do all of you agree? Or is there anyone who's disagreeing? Okay, wonderful. Play was for fun. Yeah, it's in mostly it is, in the childhood, right? Most of the people when they are playing, they're very happy. And if you ask them, why are you playing? For fun, that's all. There's nothing big than that. Very
Guruji,
nice answer. Very nice.
Guruji, I sent my answer in the chat. I agree with
Good. So then there he finds the last clue. This is the most troublesome clue. If you guys crack it, it's wonderful, but it is not easy. The fourth clue found on a big tree near the house. There was a big tree near the house, and near the big tree, he found this final clue. The true treasure was never lost, only divided.
Guruji,
Yes.
next the house which is next to the childhood hut.
Okay, that is your answer. All right. Any other answer? The true treasure was never lost, only divided. Where is this place? Yes, Diya Disha. What is your answer? I'm not able to hear your answer. Are you typing? Huh?
Everywhere.
Sorry, not able to hear you clearly. Okay.
Guruji.
Okay, Anya is saying moon mirror lake. Okay, all right. Rohan, you also raised your hand. What is your answer?
Moon mirror lake, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone who has a different answer? See now, if you look at the map, the three clues are done. What place is remaining? Moon mirror lake. It is so easy. But I'm giving you one more chance. That is not the correct answer. Yes, Diya Disha.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. How is it everywhere?
Because it was divided.
Because it was divided. Okay, all right. Yes, Rohan. What is the fourth clue pointing at?
Sir, I think it's in every place. The childhood hut, Winsala, the dry river crossing, and Moor Mirror Lake.
How?
Because I think it was divided and kept at every place.
Okay, all right. I'll Yes. Does Sanvi or Raghavi have a different answer?
No, Vijay, even I think it's divided everywhere.
Divided everywhere. Okay.
Same, Guruji. It's divided everywhere.
Divided everywhere. Okay. All right. So now pay attention, because this is the most important clue of this whole treasure hunt. So, what is it saying? The true treasure was never lost, only divided. So, now where can he find the final place? The final place is not something that he can find in some other place, because this clue is nothing but a pointer to the only place where you ever find anything. All of you find anything that you find only in this place. Whenever you are searching for something, no, finally you find the answer in this place only, nowhere else. Can you guess which place am I talking about? Yes, Shreyas.
Sir, Chitta.
Chitta. Very nice. You're very, very correct. See, ultimately, all your answers you have to find within your mind, isn't it? In your mind, only where you can find the final answer. And in the mind is where the answer is already there, but it appears divided. It appears like it is lost. Oh, it is spread everywhere. So, like that, the true treasure, because this treasure that he had hidden is something that can be stolen once again. So, this thief, no, he had created in such a way that the true treasure should never be lost. So, it pointed back to himself. And as he then closed his eyes and sat peacefully, he was able to find the treasure within. So that's this game. So before I take the next step, what's the connection between this game and what Sri Krishna is talking about as brahmaṇās, vedāśh, and yajñāḥ? Any question on the game? Is the game clear? Is there anyone who is not clear about the game? Can you show me your thumbs up or thumbs down on whether you like the game or not? Okay. Very nice. All right. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, now that you know where the real treasure he hid, so likewise, all of us also many a times are searching things everywhere. But many a times we do not look into how is that it is already there within my own mind. In other words, how can I find the true answer? Like that, many a times we simply have to go back to the source. So, what is the connection between that and today's pointer that Sri Krishna is giving? So, what is the Sri Krishna is saying? Brahmaṇās, Veda, and Yajna, right? So, first question, who is a Brahmana? Does anyone know who is a Brahmana? Have you heard this word, Brahmana? Yes, Anya.
Guruji, a brahmana is someone who always does penance to God.
Someone who
Always does penance to God.
always does penance to God. Okay, very nice. Yes, Akshat.
The one who is realized the Brahman.
The one who has realized the Brahman. Okay, very nice. Any other answers? Any other answers? Who is a Brahmana? Brahmana. The word Brahmana. Does anyone else have any other understanding of the word Brahmana? Snigdha, who do you think is a Brahmana?
Gee, I'm not so sure, but I would my answer is like as the same as action.
Your answer is same as Akshat. Okay. What about Sanvi? What does Sanvi think? Who is a Brahmana? Are you there, Sanvi? Okay, unable to hear her. What about Raghavi? What does Raghavi think? Who is a Brahmana?
Basically, my answers are somewhat similar to Akshat's. Plus, I also think that it's someone who tries to spread and help other people realize enlightenment. They
Very
help
nice.
them realize the truth.
Okay. Yes, what you both are saying or all of you are saying or thinking is also correct. So the word Brahmana means Bra plus Mana, means one whose mind has expanded to be infinite. Meaning what? See, as infinite as a divine. So the one who is living with the feeling of the world is my family. However, in the context of this shloka, we can also understand the word Brahmana as a person who is a truth seeker, the one who is on the path of realization also, one who is seeking the truth, one who has a earnest and honest inquiry into the truth. What is true in life? What is changing in life? What is not changing in life? Who am I truly? Where did I come from? Where is it I am going? And who is this God? What is this world? What is the connection between God and world and me? So, like that, someone who is seeking true answers. Why people suffer? Why there is sadness in life? Is sadness the reality of life? What is reality of life? All these are questions related to truth. So someone who is seeking answers to them can also be called as Brahmana, a truth seeker. So the one who realizes, only when you ask questions can you realize, isn't it? Only when you seek something you can get it, isn't it? For example, if you want to eat mango, only when you ask mummy or daddy, I want mango, can you get it? Otherwise, you won't get. Like that, to get something, you first need to seek it. So, Brahmana can be understood in both ways. The one who's seeking the truth and one who has now got established in the truth. In this context, now we can understand as truth seeker. That's the first. So, what Sri Krishna is saying, Brahmanas have come from me. Meaning what? We already saw divine is nothing but truth only. Om Tat Sat. So, from truth, what can come? Only truth can come. From a lie, only a lie can come. From when you say, for example, when you give misery to someone, what can come to you? Only misery can come. When you give happiness to someone, what can come to you? Only happiness. Like that, what you offer is what you get, isn't it? That's how life is. So, like that, from truth, what can come? Only truth can come. So, that's the first Brahmana. Yes, Anya, you have a question?
Guruji, you said that everything you will do, you will get it back. That also you can do. Say that everything that you do, it will come back to you. Like
Correct.
if you
So,
do good, it will come back
correct.
good.
What you do comes back to you. If you do good, good comes back to you. If you do bad, bad comes back to you. So, that's the first pointer Shri Krishna is giving. Brahmanas. So, then Veda. What is Veda? Does anyone know what is Veda? Does anyone understand what is Veda? Have you heard this word Veda or Vedas? Yes, Sanvi.
The Vedas are like scriptures which explains how we should worship God and like moral values.
Okay, scriptures which have explanation about moral and about God. Okay. Yes,
Okay,
Shreyas,
and
what is your
also
view?
like it's like mantras which we recite to God.
Mantras which we recite to God. Okay. And
So,
why do we recite to God mantras?
to worship them.
To worship Him. So the idea is, God is someone who likes to listen to all these mantras, and He likes to
See,
be praised.
not exactly like that. Like
Mhm.
we recite Vedas, so like we just keep on reminding God that we think He is superior and we don't
So
get the ego
we
in our
have
head.
to, you have to remind God that He is superior.
Yes, Ji. No,
Because
we
he,
have to remind God that we think that He is superior. We should
huh,
not let Him think that we are superior. No,
okay.
you should not let Him think that we think that we are superior.
If you let Him think that you are superior, He gets angry, is it?
No, Ji.
Then,
If we let Him, uh, if we if we let Him think
uh,
that we think that He is superior.
uh, then why should you let Him think? As an example, Sanvi, I'll ask you, do you have to let your mother know that your mother is your mother?
No, Ji. But then we should let her know that we know that she is our mother.
Huh, by that, what happens?
By that, she does not get angry.
Why would she get angry if you don't keep on reminding, I am your daughter, I am your daughter? Do you keep on telling, I am your daughter, I am your
No,
daughter?
he would get angry if we don't think of her as a mother.
Why do you feel that she will get angry?
I don't know, Ji.
But that's what you feel.
Yes, Ji.
And that's what you feel Vedas are.
Yes, Ji.
Okay, all right. Let's see what Raghavi has to say.
Vijayji, I think Vedas are scriptures that contain the truth, and at the same time they guide us towards attaining this truth.
They contain the truth and they guide us to attain the truth. Okay,
Yeah,
wonderful.
they help us live in a proper way so that we can attain enlightenment.
Okay, very nice, excellent. Now, what do you feel, Raghavi, about what Sanvi said? That Vedas contain mantras and mantras are to please God. What do you feel about that?
No, Vijayji, the mantras aren't to please God. At the end of the day, the mantras all have a message, and it is up to us to understand the message. Otherwise, they just look like plain like mantras written on the paper. It is
So
only when you understand that you see how much meaning they have.
your view is mantras are not to please, but for you to understand. That's what you feel.
Yes, Vijayji.
Very nice. Okay, wonderful. Any other views? Any other opinions? Does anyone else have any other understanding about what is Veda? Okay, all right. So, what is Veda? The word Veda itself means knowledge. As simple as that. The word Veda, if you have to translate into English, it can come closer to knowledge, jnana. So, what kind of jnana is in the Vedas? So, it is correct that Vedas are scriptures. They contain all kinds of knowledge. See, when you look at the world, in the world, there is physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, science, that is social, English, dance, uh, jokes, drawing, cooking, running, swimming. So, like that, if you keep counting, so many kinds of knowledge is there, isn't it? Even how do I connect to internet through computer is knowledge. How do I use Zoom? Is knowledge. How do I make a presentation on Zoom? Is a knowledge. So like that, there are so many kinds of knowledge. So all of that knowledge, which we talk about as about what I am learning, about what I am learning, about something that I'm learning. Oh, I'm so interested to learn how to make churumuri is knowledge. So like that, in Vedas, you will find all kinds of knowledge. It helps you to know about the world in a meaningful way, in a essential way. And that part of the knowledge system within Vedas is called as apara vidya, about the world, about objects in the world. But the value of the Vedas is it contains one another very special kind of knowledge. Can anybody guess what is that special kind of knowledge? If you look at all the knowledge of Vedas, all the knowledge of the Veda can be put into only two categories. One is what I called as apara vidya. There's one another very special kind of knowledge. Can anybody guess what is that special kind of knowledge is? Any guess? The clue is in the word itself that I used. I used a word to refer to all the knowledge. I used a particular word. I called it as apara vidya. The clue is in that word itself. Can anybody guess what that knowledge may be? Diya Disha, do you have a guess what that knowledge may be? Rohan, do you have a guess?
No, sir.
Okay. Akshat, you have a guess?
Yeah, Parajita.
Parajita. Okay, all right. Very nice
The
guess.
Aparajita.
Aparajita. Okay. So, apara jnana, apara vidya, and you are saying aparajita. Okay. Raghavi, you have a guess? Raghavi?
I guess Aparajita.
Okay, all right. Let me help you. So, one kind of knowledge that is there in the Vedas, which is about various kinds of objects, and it is systematically organized within the Vedas, and that is apara vidya. Apara vidya. Vidya means learning system or a knowledge system. Knowledge. About what? Apara. Apara.
Guruji,
Yes, Anya.
I know this might sound like nonsense, but I don't know the meaning exactly. Veda Vidya.
No. So now the other most important part of the Vedas is Paravidya. So broadly, Vedas contain Para and Apara. Para. Para means, so who is learning all this knowledge? Raghavi, who is learning all this knowledge?
We are learning this knowledge, Vijayji.
In your case, who is learning all this knowledge, Raghavi?
I am learning, Vijayji.
Yes, excellent. So this I who is learning the knowledge, to learn about the I who is learning all this knowledge, that is called as Paravidya. So to know who I am truly. So that knowledge is also there in the Vedas. That is called as Para. And I am learning about something. That is Apara. Or in other words, in English, if at all I have to bring a rough translation, object, subject. When you're learning anything, as an example, you see this, and if I ask you, what is this object that is in my hand in the video? All of you would say, this is a mobile. And if I ask you, do you know what a mobile does? So you will give me so many answers, right? So this is the object. Now, who is the one who is learning about this object? It is me. Like how Raghavi said, I am learning. Who is in the 7th grade now? You are in the 7th grade. What are you learning in the 7th grade? You may be learning about plants, how plants make food from sun's light, or you may be learning about how the great Chandragupta Maurya and in his kingdom there was the Chanakya. So like that you may be learning so many interesting aspects of history. All of that is about something else that you are learning. That is called as apara. Then learning about yourself is the subject. You are the subject who is learning about these objects. So the knowledge of the subject is called as paravidya. Or in other words, Veda in a way contains the map, the whole map to the truth. Yes, Grihit, you have a question?
Guruji, I wanted to tell you something.
Yes.
The Chandragupta Maurya Empire was our Kannada topic in IDP.
Very nice. Excellent. Wonderful. So, like that, Veda. So, already we saw how divine is, all of it is divine, no? So, all the knowledge must have come only from the divine. That is what the second pointer is by Sri Krishna. Veda. Veda means all knowledge put together. All knowledge put together is in the Veda. And all of that Veda is from the divine only. Any knowledge in this existence is not because of any particular human being. Because human being itself is a reflection of the divine. So any knowledge that exists is divine, existential. There is no knowledge that any particular person has brought specially. They may discover it, but the knowledge itself belongs to existence. So, two aspects Sri Krishna has pointed at: brahmaṇās, the ones who are seeking the truth about the divine; Vedas, which contain the map to the truth. That brings us to the last part of what Sri Krishna is pointing at: yajñāḥ. What is yajñāḥ? What do you understand by the word yajñāḥ? We have discussed about yajñāḥ in different ways so many times. What comes to your mind when you hear the word yajñāḥ? Yes, Grihit.
Like when you if the housewarming happens, then they put bricks all around and then they lit up fire and they do.
Excellent. And that is what you refer as yajna. Excellent. One of the physical representations of the yajna. Correct. Yes, Sanya, what comes to your mind when you hear the word yajna?
For some reason, when I hear the word yajna, I think of pujas.
Puja.
Pujas, like Grit said, housewarming, then Kanya Puja, all these things I think of when yajna comes to my mind.
Yajna comes to your mind.
Like
Very
kind of
nice.
penance to the god.
Some kind of a puja, some kind of a offering or some kind of a ritual is what comes to your mind. Okay, very nice. Any other answer? Yes, Raghavi. What comes to your mind?
Vijayji, when I think of yajna, I think about sacrifice.
You
Basically,
think
I'm
of sacrifice.
Yeah. So I'm basically sacrificing all of my habits and all of my attachment so that I'm able to move towards the truth.
Very nice. Yajna has that aspect also. Sacrifice. Yajna means what do you see? You see, like how Grihit said, usually a fireplace. And what do you do in that fireplace during the puja ceremony? You offer so many things to fire. So you may offer, say, rice. You may offer some fruits. You may offer some clothes. When you offer anything to fire during that puja ceremony, what happens to that object that you have offered? Does it still remain as that object? If let's say you have offered a cloth, will it still remain as a cloth? If you put rice, will it still remain as rice? If you put paper, will it still remain as paper? Yes, Akshat.
It'll all burn.
It'll all burn. It'll all burn into ashes. So that is the true meaning of yajna. Yajna means to offer. What you offer, you cannot take it back, isn't it? If you put, let's say, cloth, after the yajna, you cannot expect that I get the cloth back. If you put it into fire, it burns away. So, the meaning of yajna is selfless offering. So, what is that Sri Krishna is saying about, why is that Sri Krishna is pointing to yajna? When you notice the whole of how the existence is functioning, the sun is burning away and he is giving away all this energy. And all of us are using his energy only. Because it is from the plants that we get fruit and food, and that food becomes the food for some animals. Some animals eat those animals, but some of the vegetarian humans eat the grains and the fruits from the plants. And like that, if you notice the life, the energy of the sun comes to plants and the plants make food, and that food becomes a food for other animals, and some animals are food for other animals. Like that, there's a cycle. There's a cycle of offering. The sun is not sitting there and saying, I'm giving you so much of energy, give me rent. Sun has never come and asked you or me, give me rent. You're using so much of energy, give me money or give me time. He's not asking anything from you. He's simply offering to each one. The plant, it gives fresh oxygen, fresh prana, and it never asks, give me water in return for that. If you take care, it will be good. But if you don't also, it never comes and asks you. Like that, when you look at how the divine functions in the existence, it is a process of yajna, a true offering. Or in other words, truth in action. Truth, the divine, when divine is manifesting in this existence, you can see yajna is the fundamental way in which the whole of the universe is functioning. So as a human being, as a truth seeker who is a true brahmana, who realizes this, also gets involved in the process of offering. The motto of our Light of the Self is Atmano Mokshartam Jagadhitaya Cha. Realization of the truth and service to the world. Service to the world means yajna, truth in action. Once when someone who's intent on realizing the truth or realizing the totality uses the knowledge that is there in the Vedas and lives a life of yajna or a selfless offering or dharmic, then they get liberated. That is the equation for liberation, or what is called as moksha. So the final question, what is liberation? When you hear the word liberation or moksha, what comes to your mind? What is liberation? Yes, Raghavi.
Vijayji, is it freeing yourself from this cycle of life and death?
Freeing yourself or freeing oneself from the cycle of life, birth and death. Okay, very nice. Yes, Snigdha, what is your answer?
Yeah, something like Raghavi's, like it means like freedom.
It's make freedom. Very nice. Any other answers? Sanvi, what do you think is liberation? And some of you can also type in the chat.
Getting freedom of something.
Getting freedom from something. Okay, very nice. Any last answers? Any other last answer?
Getting free from some person or from something.
Getting free from some person or something. Excellent. Yes, Sanya.
Vijay, I think it's qualities of someone.
Qualities of someone. All right. So liberation fundamentally means some kind of a freedom, isn't it? When do you say, oh, I'm liberated? So, for example, let's say you're in a classroom and let's say it's hot summer day, and let's say the windows are closed, the door is closed, the fan is not working, and let's say the class is full of children. You're all feeling very hot. You feel like, yo, when will this class end so that I can go out and breathe freely? You want to move away. You feel as if you are put in a jail, isn't it? Bound. So when that class ends and when you go out, you feel liberated. Freedom. I'll give you one more example. Let's say today you've had lots of water and you're traveling in the car, and suddenly your bladder feels very full. You feel, yo, I have to go to number one immediately. And you're telling your whoever is driving the car, let's say it's your father who's driving the car, Papa, please stop, I want to go. He says, wait, in another 3 kilometers, there is a nice rest area. There are good restrooms. You can go there. Another 3 kilometers. How long will it take? It'll take only another 10 minutes. Looking at the traffic, he says, for another 10 minutes, you're feeling, ayo. You want to immediately go and run to the restroom and free your bladder, isn't it? Liberation, freedom. So when you're feeling bound, coming out of that is liberation. Like that, a life in freedom. In life, many a times you may feel sorry, sad, angry, jealousy, upset, or feeling like revengeful. All these make you feel very irritated, or you don't like that feeling. So, how do you find a permanent freedom? Come whatever may be the situation in life, how can I be free in life? How can I live life in freedom? Is what liberation truly is. And what Sri Krishna is pointing at is that when you and I seek the truth using the knowledge in the Vedas, which knowledge? We need to learn how to use both apara and para knowledge. But most importantly, you have to realize who you are. You have to realize how you should live. Who am I? And how I can live a life of offering. That leads to liberation, total freedom, a life in joy, a life where you have no worries, where you can be helpful as a guide to many around you, where you're not seeking anything back, but you are able to offer everything. You're able to give anything. Like the sun. Sun is not seeking anything. He is there only to offer. The plant is not seeking anything from you. It is there only to offer. The water is not seeking anything back from you. It is there only to offer. Like that, a life of offering is a life of freedom. So when you and I truly realize and seek this truth and live life like this, then we become one with the divine. And the divinity shines through you. And that is the map that Sri Krishna is giving you and me. How you can be one with the divine, how you can bring the Krishna from within you, is what Sri Krishna has taught through this shloka. Om Tat Saditi nirdeśho brahmaṇas tri-vidhaḥ smṛitaḥ brahmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā. Hari Om. Are there any questions based on what you have heard so far? Does anyone have any questions or doubt? Very nice. Then, yes, Snigdha, you have a question?
What does brahmana exactly mean?
Brahmana. Brahmana
Brahmana.
means, Bra means expanded. How much expanded? Infinitely expanded. A mind which has expanded to include everything in the existence. Most often people live only with the, this is mine, this is not mine. I'm only this, I'm not that. So when the mind expands to include everything, that is a true Brahmana. Does that clarify?
Okay. Yeah.
Great. So then I would love to listen to each one of you. What have you understood so far? Yes, Anya.
Guruji, I understood the structure of Om Tat Sat, and I understood who a brahmana is.
Very nice.
And I understood Veda and Yajñāḥ. How do you pronounce it? Yajñāḥ is.
Very nice.
And they equal to freedom. Life. Wait, what? Life and freedom, which is basically liberation.
Liberation. Excellent.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yes, Grihit, what is your understanding?
So I understood that the pirate who has been stealing before, then when he got an idea, then when he got he got aware himself. He awared himself, and then he made an idea that I will hide this treasure, and then when I'm freed from the jail, then I can come and take my treasure again.
That's what you understood in today's session. Okay? Thank you, Grihit. Thank you very much. Yes, Akshat.
Yeah, I understood that a brahmana is what the person who seeks for the Brahman, and also the one who is one with Brahman. And also that about that pirate, the final treasure was that like
correct. The final treasure was where was the final treasure?
in his mind.
In his mind, within himself only. No, where is his? Where was his mind?
His consciousness.
So he was not. So in a way, he hid the map to himself only.
Then why should he have kept the clues for when the treasure was inside him itself?
Correct. So sometimes that's the message of the story. When you have all the peace and happiness within you, why are you seeking it outside? See, in the case of a pirate, we are able to see, "Aye, you stupid fellow, why is he searching outside?" But in our case, oh, who made me angry? Many a times, when such a question is asked, what is the answer? My friend made me angry. My amma made me angry. Or the dog made me fearful. That is the answer, no? But where is all of that? Within you. So like that, many a times, like that thief, we also forget. That is why, in a way, see how Bhagavad Gita is like the treasure map. It is pointing back to you, within you, isn't it? Is that
Yes.
clarifying?
Yes, Ji.
Yeah. Wonderful. Very nice. Thank you very much, Akshat. Raghavi, what is your understanding?
Yes, Vijayji. So from this class, I basically again I had a summary of what Tat Sat was, and then afterwards I also realized that the treasure. Suppose imagine a treasure map, and then we see a treasure over there. So we see so many directions and instructions, and we are just at the bottom, and we think, oh, we have to go such a long way ahead, and then it's going to be filled with all sorts of troubles, and I have to put so much effort in. But then as you go forward and as you learn more and more, as you gain more knowledge and go through the Vedas, then you realize that that treasure which was up over there, that's just an illusion because the treasure is actually inside you. And then you just have to try and realize that the entire treasure is inside you, and then that will help you gain that eternal peace. So that's the Sat part from Tat Sat. So it tries to whatever you're doing, the entire path. It's just it like brings in the whole Tat Sat into our life.
Excellent. Very nice. Very nice, Raghavi. Yes, Nigda, you have something to add?
Yeah, Ji. Just like what Raghavi said, like the entire map is like, even though you face all the troubles, the treasure is just within you. And then when you like get to know that, you feel a sense of, liberation, or let's say satisfaction. And is what you said, like when you add brahmanas, vedas, and yajna together, it creates a liberation. It's like you feel very free, you feel very satisfied. Totality.
Totality. Very nice. Excellent. Sanvi, what is your understanding, Amma?
I understood the meaning of Tat Sat, and I also understood how like brahmanas, vedas, and yajna is all connected to Tat Sat, and at the end of everything, it just means like liberation and getting freedom from it.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, with this, I would like to conclude this particular shloka 17.23. And as usual, it was wonderful to listen to each one of you. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.